could model this again. I think that's kind of boring. You kind of get the point. Let's just consider the Mario pipe for, or Mario, however you want to pronounce it, pipe for a moment. Um, we have, yeah, I don't need that. We have kind of a simple shape. If we cut it down the middle, it looks like an upside down L. Uh, and it's going to have a void on the inside here. What I can do is I can start a sketch on my front plane. Now I have my origin point here. In the previous example, I was using that top plane as my reference. We don't really need it this time. We can just keep modeling off of the object that we're making. Easiest way to model this thing is either to use rectangle or line tool. I'm going to use rectangle tool and then use our scissors, our trim tool to clean it up. I do actually want to consider some of the dimensions as I go. So this dimension, let's make that wall thickness fairly thin. I don't want to waste too much material. This I'm going to come back to. Technically, what I should be doing is actually just popping this in here. Let's actually do it the right way. Insert image, import, open, and let's see. Hey, there we go. That looks good. Let's delete these lines and see if I can move this in there. This is actually the proper way to do this. That looks about right. I'm not going to complain if it's a little wrong. I am going to use a rectangle tool. I'm going to make a rectangle that goes about from here up to here. I think that thickness looks about right. And let's actually look at like the top of the Mario pipe because I don't actually remember how thick it was. I remember it looked pretty thick. We got a quite thick top. Let's make another rectangle that goes out to here. And does it matter whether or not it's any bit offset? It doesn't really look like it. I've never actually seen the inside of a Mario pipe, so I don't know. I'm just gonna roll with this. I'm trying to figure out whether or not this should be flush, and I think that's cool if I leave that flush. So I have this. I do want to actually still think about like making it so the bottom has like a base. So I'll make it like a little bit thicker down here, just so that because it's gonna be a little top heavy, I will save these fillets for later. I know it's a little bit off. Some of you might be skeeved out by that, but we'll roll with it. So trim here. Is it gonna let me trim it? There we go. Trim there. Trim it again. Referencing that origin right there. And basically what I am going to do now is make a construction line down my origin here. Now this is going to be critical because again, what I told you, we're going to think about this like a revolve, this different way of modeling. And we did revolve before a while ago when we did the Onshape examples. It's mad easy for us to do. Let's pop some dimensions in here just in case we need them later. And that looks about cool to me. Yeah, 52. So that means we're probably around like 60 something tall, 70. Yeah, that's cool. Close. And I have this profile right here, kind of in yellow. I should see if I can turn off that image. But it looks like it's going to be stuck until I turn off this sketch. Okay, so what I can do now is I'm going to exit out of the sketch again. This method actually might be easier for some of you to follow than my last one. I'm going to go up to Revolve right here. It's next to Extrude. And I am going to click on the face that I want to revolve, which is this face right here, highlighted in yellow. Hopefully y'all can see that. And then my revolve axis is that construction line that I made. And once I hit check on that, we have essentially like a little Mario pipe. Now, I don't really like the dimensions of this all that much. I don't know about y'all. But basically, what's great now is I can go back in here and kind of do whatever I want with it. So if I wanted to make this now, let's say like 40 millimeters, okay? And then let's make this like an actual whole number and make it 10. So we're 50 tall. And then if I wanted to make this, I don't know, 10, and let's make this 15 maybe? I don't know. We're just going to play. If I hit check, there we go. I have this guy here. Now, one of the other reasons I may not be like the biggest fan of this is it doesn't actually have like the tapered edge of the Mario pipe. I forget what we were even looking at before. I should just look up like Super Mario Maker because these are all like a bunch of 3D models from other people's work. And let's also use actually Google Images instead of DuckDuckGo. I love DuckDuckGo, but if we look at it, the original was square. Let's look up N64. Still pretty rectilinear. Let's go ahead and just give it some sort of fillet. Why not? Just make it look a little bit cleaner. So if I hit the check right here, and I just kind of clean this up, clean up the edges a little bit, that's okay. Not the biggest fan, but I like it. I think if I made this green, it would actually help me. But I want like a nice, let's see, a 255. There we go. Much better. So if I got this, the only other thing that I would need to do, so I did my sketch, I did my revolve. The only other thing that I would need to do is make the hole in the top so I have some sort of drainage. But what I may actually want to do right now is take a pause and actually consider this model to be my self-watering example. Just so that I can give y'all some guidance on maybe how to model something like this. So let's close this, let's close that, and Campbell's Planner is nice knowing you, Pokemon Planner, great. And let's look at this planter right here. Let's look at this video. There is no video on this. Look at this image. It's just some drainage, that thing. What I actually need is this little reservoir pipe. We'll consider this our reservoir. I need a little bit more real estate. So we're going to hop into this sketch. And let's make this... I need to look at an actual ruler right now. Let's make it a 30 millimeter gap, so then we have 60 centimeters. Do I need to make this like a little bit chunkier is the question. Let's do 35, 15, and we're good. I think that looks good. Anyone in the chat, does this look decent? Dan, if you're still there. Should I make any other changes to this before I move on? I'm going to take that as a no. Cool. Thank you, TJ. It looks little. It needs to be little. My printer's like mad small, so a little chunky. Yeah, I made it a little bit smaller. I can make it a little taller. I'm cool with that. Um, let's make this like let's just go all out. Yeah, it's gonna look a little stubby just because my printer's small. I think I need to change this up a little bit. I don't know, or make this smaller. It doesn't have a Mario or a piranha plant coming out of it, so yeah, I can play with it. All right, so let's just undo that so I can work with something smaller. I need to work on this auto watering insert. Now, before I like go full tilt on this insert, I should probably think about like how I actually want to get water down into the pipe itself. Um, I don't think it'll look particularly great if I had something popping out, so I probably want something flush here. Or something like a little bit inset, because I feel like the dirt coming all the way to the top is not going to look too great. Like if I were to print this in green, I want like a little bit of green exposed here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a plane. And I'm going to flip the direction and probably tell it needs to at least be like 5 millimeters down. Now that I have this little plane, I can start working downward. So I'm going to make a sketch on not that face, but this plane. And I'm going to use project the top of my design onto that. So if I look at it, I have a sketch that looks like this. I have a sketch that looks like this. I am going to start to think about where I want to place maybe like this circular. I'm probably going to make it like almost a crescent shape that I can pour water into. I have a nice little tiny whatever you call it, water thing. I played too much Animal Crossing and I don't even know the name of it. What's the thing you put water in to water plants? Mind block. And that's probably has like a 3 millimeter spout. I am going to look at this from the top view. I'm going to make a circle. Let's just kind of make sure it's in line. Watering can. Yeah, thank you. You're awesome. You're already awesome, but you're even more awesome now. And I'm going to dimension this just so I have a reference of it. 15 actually sounds like a nice whole number. Even though that looks ridiculously small, I'm going to work with it. And I am also going to like offset it the opposite direction, and let's make it just like a 2 millimeter wall. I feel like that's, again, more than enough, more than what we need. So now that I have this, I need to export in some way, shape, or form. Or not export, extrude. And what I'm going to do is just go and hit the extrude tool. I could do Shift E, hit that guy right there, and then bring it on down. Now, I gotta look at that reference photo for a second because I don't know how far down this goes and what it looks like in there. Yeah, it looks like the same thing. It looks like it might just truncate and kind of drop in. So if I am right here, right about there, I should probably make this transparent so that I can look inside at it. Let's go 30 millimeters. Again, all this stuff can change over time. And hit check. And that's all one solid part. So ideally my water line's going to be, or my dirt line's going to be up here, a little bit recessed. This will be a clearing that I can put water down into like the reservoir basin down here. Now I should start designing this interior like pot piece right there. So What I can do, hopefully, is turn this plane off. And let's also turn the origin off because it's just useless to us at this point right now. And I am going to make another plane. And that plane, we're going to drop down, I think I did 5 the first time, so let's do 15 now. Millimeters from the top. And this might be like a little bit too complex for some of you, but hopefully you're kind of following along a little bit more advanced, but totally awesome. And I am going to hop into a sketch that I'm going to make on plane 2 and use project. So biggest thing I actually care about in use project is getting that interior line right there. And I'm going to turn off part 1 just so I can see my sketch. Go to the top view. And I'm going to offset this interior line, let's just say 2.5 millimeters. Cool. Now that I have that, let's hop back to our part. And I want to extrude that. So I have like a nice lip that the insert can hopefully rest on. And I'm just going to extrude it all the way from right here down to the bottom. We'll see whether or not I need to fix anything in here. We'll see whether or not this automatically cuts the line, this feature. So extrude, yeah, I need to cut that line. So hop back to our sketch, and I'm going to use project this shape here, this like little crescent semicircle, whatever you want to call it. And now I'm going to turn off part 1. And I need to use our skizzers or trim tool to clean this bad guy up. Now, if I clean that, let's just clean all this up. I'm not even going to get those little dots, but just clean this line work up a little bit more. Turn part 1 back on, hop back into an extrude. And now I can extrude, hopefully I can just do extrude up until face, and that face is going to be down here. Boom. Okay. So I have a little bit of weird stuff going on in here. I don't really care though, we'll leave it like that. I have a lip, and I have like a little area or void that I can pour water into with my watering can. Thanks, Dan. And now I actually need to begin working on this insert right here. Now, the biggest thing we have to concern ourselves with when we're modeling this insert is tolerance. So the sizing of the pot to the reservoir. If I were to just go into Onshape and model this exterior diameter of this blue part here to be as or to be equal to the size of the interior diameter of this reservoir here, so this inner line right here, they wouldn't fit right off the printer. Now, tolerance on my printer, I always forget. Tolerance on most printers, I believe, is like 0.75 millimeters. You're usually pretty cool. We could probably look it up on 3D Hubs, 3D printing reference. I have it in the book somewhere, but the book just takes way too long to look at. If I can't find this in 2 seconds. 3D printing guide. It's in the knowledge base for sure. Useful resources. If it's not on this page, this is just different types of printing. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Design rules. Tolerance 0.5 millimeters for FDM modeling. I think it's 0.7 for us. Definitely at school, at home, I could probably get away with 0.5, but we'll see. So I need to model that pot. If you look at the pot from the side, it has this little dip down here for the wick. This is probably resting on that lip, this little beginning of the truncated bottom, the truncated cone shape. And you put these little holes in. It doesn't look like there's a hole at the bottom, and I know I had a student ask me that the other day. No hole at the bottom, surprisingly. Makes sense. You don't want dirt to fall out. You definitely want that to be capped. And let's go back to this. So I'm going to turn off my plane. And let's make a folder. This is the point where it makes sense to make a folder. Let's call this the reservoir. Oh, R-E-S. I can't spell right now. I'm not even going to try it. S-R-E-S-E-R. R-E-S-E-R-V-O-I-R. R-E-S-O-R-V. Oh my gosh, my brain can't work right now. Alright, that's good. Good enough. Good enough for union work. Alright, reservoir. I'm going to make a new folder. Let's call it the pot, or let's call it insert. Sounds better to me. And reservoir base, insert, bingo, bango. Alright, yeah, this does look like it's been kind of like smushed a little bit. I'll have to fix that at some point, but for now it'll be fine. So let's hit sketch. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to model starting from the base. I'm going to work my way up. So my thinking is if I model this bottom part,